Do you remember that one episode of Pokemon when Pikachu talked? Well, I don't. Introducing Pokemon Blaze Glazed, the game where Team Fusion, the evil team, are trying to catch Mew, and a talking Pikachu chases you around the region. Let's begin. We are greeted by Professor Willow and are introduced to the Tuna region, a region neighboring Johto. Unlike other games, this one gives you 5 options for a starter, the Sinnoh starters plus Shinx and Riolu. I picked Chimchar because I've been told the latter part of this game is pretty rough, and Infernape is generally an incredible playthrough Pokemon. I named the Chimchar Tyrese. As we are exiting the town, we stumble upon a scuffed Pikachu that's harassing our parents. The Pikachu attacks us, but since it's only level 2, it is dispatched pretty easily. We also met our rival in the forest, but never mind that. We progress on to the next town to meet the inventor. He requests that we accompany him through the swamp as he wanted to do some research. But the Tuna champion Blake shows up and offers his assistance instead. We join up with them at the ruins and get given a Pokécom, a device used to communicate with Pokemon. That's actually pretty neat. Just as we are about to leave, we get teleported into another universe. That's strange. We meet a random guy named Luke, and he's talking like he's met us before, which threw me off. He asks us to catch a Mudkip that has ran loose, and we do as we are told. We name the Mudkip Arnold. Tyrese also gained enough experience and evolved into a Monferno, which was pretty neat. We progress on to the next city where there seems to be a factory issue. Turns out it was the scarfed Pikachu storing its electrical energy. We take it out, and as a result, Arnold evolved into a Marshtomp. With our newly found power, we beat the first gym, which was an electric gym, perfect for Marshtomp. We made our way into a place called Serenity Isle, and after doing some research, I found out that we can catch Froakie nearby, so I ditched Marshtomp in the PC and acquired a Froakie, naming it Frog. We ride a boat with Blake and end up crashing in a nearby island. We encountered the scarfed Pikachu in the caves of the island and beat it again. In those same caves, I found the evil team leader Michael, who leads Team Fusion. We defeat him and they flee. Blake calls us to tell us the boat has been repaired, so we go back to Serenity Isle and challenge the gym leader there. We easily dispatched him. We proceed to take on the Bell Tower, where Frog evolves into a Frogadier and Tyrese evolves into an Infernape. With the newly buffed team, we take on the Water Gym. We are really good against water because Frogadier only resists water while Infernape is weak to it. To tackle it, I relied on Infernape to outspeed and Drain Punch to recover HP. Unfortunately, an Intimidate Gyarados proved to be too deadly and we wiped for the first time. I figured we need more training, so I evolved Frog into a Greninja. We also caught a Wild Manectric and Mareep to deal with the Gyarados, who is 4 times weak to Electric. It didn't matter too much because Greninja's stab Feint Attack got the job done anyway, and we get our third badge. In search of someone that can deal with water types, we come across a Pokemon shelter and add Sienna the Grovyle into the team, completing the Grass Fire Water core. Next gym leader is in fact a Grass type gym, and I stupidly led with Greninja because I needed XP for it. I ended up just switching into Infernape to complete the sweep, and we acquire our 4th gym. Blake calls us for assistance with some Team Fusion, and the stupid Pikachu steals our badges. In an attempt to kill 2 birds with 1 stone, we raided Team Fusion and battled the Pikachu, getting our gym badges back. We finish up with Team Fusion, and as we are talking with Blake, we get teleported to the other universe again, where it is revealed that the other universe is a world without Pokemon. And the reason why we end up universe hopping is because Team Fusion keep on messing with Mew, which disrupts the space-time continuum. Or something like that, I didn't really pay attention. We get back to our own world and proceed to take on the Ice Gym. With Tyrese, he obliterates everything and we get our 5th gym badge. As we do more training, Sienna evolves into a Sceptile, which in this game is actually a Grass Dragon type. We meet up with Shell at the Safari Zone and take her down pretty easily as well. We meet up with Blake again, this time at the Celebi Shrine, and once again gets transported and back between universes. We put Team Fusion at the top of our priorities for now and head to Temporal Tower, where we meet and defeat Pikachu once again. We defeat Team Fusion once again, but they end up fleeing. We continue our journey, challenging the Fire-type Gym Leader this time, and complete the sweep with Greninja, making it 6 gym badges. Our next team member is a Snorunt, which I named Kellen. I specifically got a female Snorunt, and when given a Dawnstone, it evolves into a Frostlass. As we head to the next city, we see it raided by Team Fusion. Henry, the son of the 2 fusion leaders, is actually a good guy and turns to us to help save Palkia. We meet the Scarfed Pikachu once again, and as always defeats it. Team Fusion go ahead with their plans and summon Dialga, Palkia, and Giratina. We fail to save Palkia as Michael, the leader of Team Fusion, Master Balls it and flees once again. Blake also fails to save Giratina, so we are forced to climb Mount Stratus to confront Team Fusion. As a means to get stronger, we challenge the Rock-type gym, attaining our 7th badge. Blake gives us Rock Climb, and with that we can access Jirachi, which we catch, naming it Starfire, and added it to the team. We go confront Team Fusion, and after beating Regina, the other leader of Team Fusion, we challenge Michael with 3 legendary Pokemon. Dialga and Palkia were pretty easy, but Giratina almost swept us. With the power of potions, we win the fight. Nevertheless, they summon Mew, and it is pretty pissed. We take it on and defeat Mew with Jirachi. With the situation resolved, we universe hop one last time to thank Luke, and since Mew isn't being messed with again, the space-time continuum is left unaffected. We travel to the last gym to take on Percy, which is actually the first time I'm mentioning him, funny enough. We battle the fighting-type gym leader and finally get all 8 2-0 badges. At the entrance of Victory Road, we dispatch Shell once again and have a fun little battle with the developer of this game, which was pretty cool. Since we have one final team slot, we added an Aerodactyl, naming it Terra with a silent P. This guy is going to be insane as he has the ability Rockhead, which negates recoil, so Brave Bird on this Pokemon becomes so much more viable. We actually come across Scarfed Pikachu one last time and it realizes that he has mindlessly been following us. For closure, we battle it one last time and it joins us, but we promptly put it in the box. We meet up with Michael again and he tells us that he disbanded Team Fusion and has reformed. We fight Kato, another rival of ours, and we beat him, and now we have the 2-0 League to deal with.
The Elite Four right now, we are battling Elite Four member Rosaline. She leads with Licky Tongue, and we lead with Infernape, Tyrese the Infernape. Immediate Oko with Mark Punch and Drain Punch. They send out Milotic, and we have our Sceptile, and it's just a 2 Giga Drain. But before we get our second Giga Drain off, it ice beams us and kills us off. So we send the Jirachi and Thunderbolt to make the Milotic go down. Sylveon comes out, and this is an easy kill via Flash Cannon. Slowking goes down by Frostlass, and Blissey goes down via Infernape. So Elite Four Rosaline goes down. Next member is Elite Four Magnus. He has a Drapion, as you can see. That's his ace Pokemon, I believe. He leads with Arbok. We lead with Infernape, Tyrese the Infernape. Easy Flamethrower KO. She sends out Mean Shao, or he sends out Mean Shao. We kill it with Aerodactyl. Gliscor comes out, but Greninja handles that easily with Ice Beam. There's Goodra, but our Sceptile 2 Dragon Pulses and it goes down. The ace Pokemon Drapion comes out, but Tero, the Aerodactyl, finishes it off with Earthquake, and Drapion is now down. That is Elite Four member Magnus finished and defeated. We move on to Elite Four member Tanya, her ace Pokemon seemingly being Dragonite. And first, she sends out Floatzel. She leads with Floatzel, and we don't change our lead Pokemon. We always lead with Infernape, but clearly Infernape can't take out the Floatzel, so it faints. We bring out the Grass type to take Floatzel out, Giga Drain, and it is done. She then sends out Dragonite, her ace, immediately as her second Pokemon. pretty weird. We knock it out with Ice Beam. Here comes a Rotom Grass. Rotom Grass goes down, takes down Aerodactyl before it goes down, but our Frostlass, Kellen the Frostlass, takes it out no problem. Alakazam comes out, but Greninja deals with it with Dark Pulse. Infernape is her last Pokemon, which we take out with Surf. So Greninja being the MVP of this battle, as we easily defeat Elite Four member Tanya. Pretty easy battle. This is probably the easiest battle so far among the Elite Four. Next is the ex-champion, Elite Four member Gray. He became a Elite Four member because he said he was an ex-champion. His ace Pokemon seemingly being a Skarmory. He looks like a steel type Pokemon user, but he actually leads with a Zoroark, which is perfect for us because we lead with Infernape. Sends out Skarmory next, so the second Elite Four member to send out their ace Pokemon as a second Pokemon. We take down the Skarmory and a Machamp. We have Aggron, which Infernape deals with easily. We have Magnezone, which is also dealt with by Taro's Earthquake. And yeah, Elite Four member Gray is also taken out. We'll be taking on the champion of the Tuna League, Champion Blake. He's been with us in our journey, helping us tackle Team Fusion. And today we're going to be taking on for the champion seat. He leads with Weavile, we lead with Greninja. He takes out our Greninja, unfortunately. So we bring out Jirachi and use Flash Cannon to take out the Weavile. His next Pokemon, he sends out a Mawile, I don't know how you pronounce it. So he sends out Aerodactyl to Earthquake it. As you can see, it intimidates us. I didn't know that thing could have Intimidate, but whatever. Earthquake did so little damage, by the way, and it's Swords Dance, and it has Leftovers, which is gonna be really hard to take this thing down. It's a 100 power move, Earthquake, and it's not taking the Mawile down, which is actually pretty insane. We bring out Sceptile for whatever reason. It's a Fairy Seal type, and we'll bring out the Grass Dragon type. I don't know why I did that, but I Giga Drain it. It used a Play Rough, which is a fairy move, takes out Sceptile. I don't know what I expected, bringing out a Dragon type. I probably forgot that Sceptile was a Dragon type in the first place. So we bring out Jirachi again, and we Sucker Punches us, almost takes us out, but we Flash Cannon it, and we do take it out. By the way, in this game, Sceptile is a Grass Dragon type. The typing for some Pokemon have changed, so yeah, you can, if you didn't know that, now you know. Sends out a Honchkrow, we send out a Frostlass, Ice Beam it Heat Waves us, and almost does take us out, but we try Ice Beam again. It full restores, but it doesn't really matter. We get him back to the same HP that he was in just now. All it is another Ice Beam, but he full restores again. I don't know the effectiveness of that now. We Ice Beam again, and he tries to Sucker Punch us, which actually works. I don't know why he just didn't do that first. We bring out our Infernape, Fake It Out to take out the Honchkrow. Pretty good. It sends out an Umbreon, which is perfect for our Infernape to handle. We Mach Punch, it curses and raises his defense and attack stats. I don't know what it does. Oh, we Drain Punch it, my bad. We Drain Punch it and it Moonlights and gets back its health. We Mach Punch it again to get it back into the low range, and it Moonlights again. This is a really annoying strategy from the Umbreon. Moonlight Curse. I mean, it's pretty effective, so why not? And our Infernape is struggling dealing with this Umbreon. Umbreon uses Toxic on our Infernape, and our Infernape is now heavily poisoned, so we switch it out with Greninja, Water Dark type, so maybe I can take the Dark type moves better. We Surf it, and it does a lot more damage than Infernape's Drain Punch because it has raised its defense stats so much that Drain Punch literally doesn't do anything anymore. So we just Surf the Umbreon until it faints. Its next Pokemon is a Houndoom, which is really fortunate for us because it's a fire dark type. Greninja does get poisoned, but we one-shot the Houndoom with Surf, and its final Pokemon is its ace Pokemon, which is the legendary Pokemon Darkrai. I wonder how many times I said Pokemon there, but it turns out Darkrai. We literally have nothing else we can do, so we just Surf it for good damage, and it takes Greninja out with Ice Beam of all moves. So we send out our own legendary Jirachi. He heals with leftovers, but we send out our own legendary in Jirachi, and we full restore Infinite. And now it'll be our star Pokemon versus his ace Pokemon, and this is gonna be an interesting matchup. We fake it out to get extra more damage. It leftovers itself again. We go for the Drain Punch, and that is Darkrai taken down. We are the new champion of the 2-0 League, beating champion Blake. Right after we beat him, Percy battle, but it turns out that since we became the champion and forfeited our duties as a champion because we want to travel, it makes Percy the new champion because he's the next one to beat the next Elite Four. Pretty funny.
After becoming the Tuna League champion, we met up with Chris, the Johto League champion, and she gives us a plane ticket to Johto. We also find out that Shell is Silver's sister, which is pretty cool. We head to Ruins of Elf, and we found out Regina is keeping Team Fusion alive, and she still lusts for power. We defeat Faulkner, Murty, and Jasmine in that order, getting 3 gym badges. Whitney rushes in after we defeat Jasmine as she needs help with Team Fusion. Regina sets the whole of Ilex on fire, which is insane. We defeat her though, but she still gets the Aurora Orb by blackmailing Celebi. We defeat Bugsy and Whitney's boyfriend Simon for 2 more badges. We battle Silver as a gym leader to get our 6th Johto gym badge. Whitney also asks us for help as Jasmine is missing. We investigate the situation at the church and find out Pius, who runs the church, kidnapped Jasmine. We take him on in a double battle and defeat him. We get our 7th gym badge by beating Brian and his psychic types. Henry calls for our help once again as we watch Price help Regina get her last orb. We get an invitation from the Pokemon League, but it turns out it was fake as it was Mewtwo trying to avenge Mew. We beat Mewtwo, head to Bell Tower, watch Regina catch Ho-Oh in a damn Pokeball of all things, and proceed to sweep her with Greninja. Regina then promises to disband Team Fusion, and now we are free to do whatever in Johto. We battle Claire for the last gym badge in Johto and finally acquire her gym badge. Right before we enter the league, we are challenged by Shell, who we destroy.
We are taking on the Elite Four of the Johto region. This guy Ivan is the first Elite Four member. He's actually probably the easiest member on the list. He takes out our Aerodactyl with Tentacruel, but that's to be expected due to the type advantage. Gengar goes down by our Greninja. We swap in Infinite to his Survivor, because Survivor is his ace Pokemon, and I decided to do like an ace on ace battle. Next up we have Whitney, who has in this game promoted to a gym leader to a Elite 4 member. So normal type Elite 4 member. Take down the Blissey. Licky comes up and sets Protect to protect itself with 1 turn. Doesn't really matter. It wishes itself back to health, and this thing is really being a pain to take out. It's wishing itself back to health, protecting, and it's a good stalling strategy, but I mean annoying for us. Take it down eventually though. Wigglytuff comes up next. We decide to swap it into our Greninja, and let's go for Surf. It actually just takes us out with Moonblast. Pretty taken L right there, but Jurassic takes it down. Miltank is our ace. Miltank is obviously the worst Pokemon to ever exist, and have some trouble with taking it down always. So yeah, we took it down. 3rd Elite Four member. The problem I have with Miltank is that if you're gonna make a Pokemon strong, at least make it look good, not look like that. Yeah, but anyway, take on this electric type Elite Four member Powell. I mean, we just power through. See what I did there? Power through his team. Rotom Wash comes out, and literally we have the perfect Pokemon in front of the Rotom Wash to take it down. We have Jolteon, which pretty awful defenses for Jolteon, so it doesn't really matter if Infinite died, because Frostlass will also die. Jirachi also dies. See, I made a mistake, but I bring out my grass type because my grass type resists the electric type. Slowly start chipping away. Takes down my Sceptile as well, and I'm only left with my water type. So I decided to just bring back my grass type and Giga Drain, keep it to health, and beat the Elite Four member Powell. Now we have the last Elite Four member, Eugene. As you saw, his ace Pokemon is a Suicune. So yeah, Aerodactyl straight away dies. I mean, I kind of expected that, to be honest. Swampert goes down easily. Milotic Ice Beam to KO our Grass Dragon Sceptile. To be expected as always. Milotic is being such a annoyance, a nuisance. Takes down our Infernape as well. Jirachi is up. We get the paralysis on the Milotic, so you know it might not move. But for whatever reason, paralysis doesn't activate. I tried to chance the paralysis for us to wake up and hit a Thunderbolt, but it didn't work. So I just Leech Seed, and I don't know. I just Ice Beam my way through, and it's down. Starmie's up, 2 Shadow Bolt, and it's dead. We have the Suicune to deal with now. Suicune is faster than all of my Pokemon, so I decided to do some potion work. I just used a couple of revives, couple of hyper potions to try and take down the Suicune. My Frostlass dies. We bring out Sceptile to get the Leech Seed in, so we always have the Leech Seed damage now. I didn't want to use Toxic. I revived Sceptile again, but I didn't use Toxic because this guy has full restores anyway. So I didn't want to just waste that turn and maybe just try and get some damage off. But we got the Leech Seed, which is the most important thing. Chip damage is really useful against tough Pokemon like Suicune. So let's go legendary on legendary battle. Our Jirachi is looking worse for wear. I mean, literally has no one else to help it. But Leech Seed is coming in clutch, basically like cancelling out the leftovers that the Suicune has. If it didn't have leftovers, Suicune would be dead way quicker. But I use Drain Punch to get a bit of damage in. This thing just serves us and we die pretty easily. Giga Drain so close, and as you can see right here, he full restores, which is why I didn't want to use Toxic in the first place. And now I'm back to using Revive on the Infernape and Hyper Potion the Infernape as well. Bring out our Greninja as we try put some damage in. Revive our Jirachi again, because Jirachi is legendary on legendary when we have good stats. So hopefully decide that. And Leech Seed takes down the Suicune, and we are now one battle away from becoming the champion. About to take on the champion of the Johto League, which is Chris. Leads with a Heracross, so we switch into Aerodactyl. Immediately almost die, but Brave Bird takes out Heracross. Switch into Greninja for the Arcanine and just go for the Surf. Arcanine lives for somehow lives, and we try to couple of Surfs take it down, which we do eventually. We switch to our Frostlass for the Sceptile, Ice Beam, break the Substitute, and finish the Sceptile off. For the next Pokemon, we switch our Sceptile into the Goodra. Takes us out immediately with Ice Beam. But doesn't matter, we switch into Frostlass, Ice Beam it down as much as possible. It full restores. It's not really a 2-hit KO, it's a 3-hit KO, but we get the freeze. And we take down Goodra. Next Pokemon we send out is our Infernape for the Metagross, Fake Out for the chip damage, Flamethrower, which it almost kills it, but it lives on Burn, and full restore, so the burn effect goes away. Flamethrower back in the red HP before we die. Back comes Greninja, Dark Pulse to take down the Metagross. Now we have Sending out a Jirachi for the Feraligatr. Thunderbolt, it 3-hit KO. Thunderbolt again, get the paralysis. Takes down our Jirachi with a powered up Crunch. We have Water type against Water type. This thing survives 2 hits and takes out our it survives 2 hits and takes out our Pokemon. It Aqua Jets the Aerodactyl, and now it's a 1v1. Our Frostlass and the Feraligatr. I am not gonna risk it. I fumbled the battle so badly. I didn't know he had Aqua Jet. I mean, I couldn't bother to check the moveset, but we revive the Sceptile that we have, Sienna and Giga Drain, to win the battle to become a 2-region champion. So yeah, that's how we defeated Chris, and that's how we finished the Johto region adventure in the Pokemon Blaze Glaze fan game.
Henry contacts us as he has identified that his mom is at the Rancor region. The Rancor region is special as it only has 4 gyms on different islands. We can only unlock the islands the more gym leaders we defeat. We get to Refund Isle, which is the starting island. We travel to Orkan Isle, defeating Shell once again. Turns out Regina still lusts for power as she tries to catch Moltres, which she succeeds in. We still have a lot to do in terms of Regina herself and Pius, who is still untrustworthy. We head to Nitro Isle where we see a new guy defeating Shell. His name is Ty and he challenges us. He sort of becomes our Rancor region rival and has a full team of evolution. We defeat him and go challenge the first gym leader in Rancor. The puzzle was freaking annoying, but we ended up completing it and beating the gym leader. I must say the language has picked up and I'm all for it. There's a very loud sound that the gym leader freaks out. We go investigate it at Mount Dino and it turns out the sound was caused by a battle between Henry and Regina. Henry wins the battle and it causes Regina to flee, and not long after he catches Zapdos for himself. At this point I thought Henry might be evil, but there is not enough evidence for us to conclude that. We head to Kolo Isle where we commit Grand Theft Auto by stealing gym leader's Pokemon Honchkrow. We then head to his gym for a battle and this guy was pretty tough. Our leader Ricky leads with a Salamence. I lead with my Aerodactyl. Intimidate really sucks and a Dragon dances up to raise its speed and attack. I Rock Slide it again, almost kill it, but we survive a Dragon Dance boosted Dragon Claw, and 3 Rock Slides later Salamence goes down. Kingdra comes out. We Brave Bird the Kingdra to get as much damage as possible. A Draco Medius Aerodactyl down. Aerodactyl faints. We send out our Jirachi to use a Moonblast on it, and we Moonblast it. Kingdra survives Draco Medius again, but due to the stat drops, Draco Medius doesn't do that much, and a second Moonblast finishes off the Kingdra. It next sends out a Haxorus, and same story with Kingdra. 2 Moonblast later, Haxorus goes down. His next Pokemon is a Dragonite. I Moonblasted for almost half damage, and it Earthquakes us, critical hit, and we die. We send in our Ice type for a 4-time super effective Ice Beam, and Dragonite easily goes down. He sends out a Shiny Gudra next, which is... Shiny Gudra actually looks pretty cool. We get it down to half health, it leftovers up, and we don't get the damage roll, and Gudra survives by 1. We get Sienna out to Dragon Pulse. This guy full restores Dragon Pulse. It does more than half, which means the second Dragon Pulse will kill off the Gudra. He sends out his Charizard next, which I switch into my Water type Greninja, and I think 2 serves later, or 1 serve even, Charizard goes down and they defeat the Dragon Gym Leader with ease. We made it out with our second badge and as a result head to Alpha Isle, where in an attempt to heal we get finessed into the sewers. After navigating a long maze we run into Gym Guardian Will. Let me just say this guy was tough, which surprised me. He leads with a Politoed. I lead with my Sceptile. He protects the Giga Drain. I Giga Drain again, it's a 2-hit KO. He Perish Songs my Sceptile, and doesn't really matter. I take down the Politoed. His next Pokemon is a Manectric. I decide to stay in with Sienna, I believe. I stay in with Sienna and just go keep on Giga Draining. I miss the Leech Seed, however, and Ice Fang just obliterates our Grass Dragon Sceptile, 4 times super effective. We send out Aerodactyl for an Earthquake, but just about it doesn't KO. The Manectric lives on like a slither of health. We send out Infernape to fake out the Manectric, but this guy full restores, which is really annoying. I go for the Drain Punch, almost KO again. He goes for the Thunder. I go for another Drain Punch to take down the Manectric, and now I'm paralyzed because of Manectric's ability Static. I swap into my Frostlass to deal with the Empoleon. Empoleon comes out. I just decide to go to Psychic, Shadow Ball. I wanted to get the special defense drop, but Surf just knocks me out. So I send out Jirachi for Thunderbolt, and this worked way better than Psychic with Frostlass. I don't know why I didn't do this first, but Thunderbolt the Empoleon. Empoleon barely survives, which is so annoying, man. So we send out our Infernape against Empoleon. It still doesn't die because of leftovers, and I decide I probably should full restore, or not full restore, switch into my water type to deal neutral damage enough to take down the Empoleon. His next Pokemon is a Raikou, and right now my team is in critical shape. As you can see, I stall out the Raikou with my Greninja, who I revived using Infernape's turn, and I just Leech Seed Raikou down. Next up is Gyarados, and I decide to revive Starfire for 4 times super effective Thunderbolts. This thing sets up Dragon Dance, which is really scary. We get the Leech Seed off though, and this thing waterfalls our Sceptile down. We send in Jirachi. We heal Jirachi back to full health, and might I remind you, 1 critical hit and Jirachi goes down, and we played with that chance many a time. But after getting lucky a bit, I revive Greninja and surf the Gyarados to finally beat this Will guy. And after beating him, he gives us Sora's Gym Key. Before we enter Sora's gym, we meet and battle Tai. Tai in front of the 3rd gym in the Raincore region. Him and his all Evolutions team. We Ice Beam the Leafeon and then switch into Infernape to deal with the incoming Umbreon. We Drain Punch straight away. It is a 2-hit KO. He mean looks us, trapping us in battle. Umbreon goes down, and we realize we can just stay in because it's a Glaceon. So I go for the Flamethrower, which does half. It mirror coats and almost takes us out. I go for the next Drain Punch to get some health back. It sends out Vaporeon next, which I send in my Sceptile. Go for the Giga Drain. Critical hit and 1-hit KO the Vaporeon. It sends in a Jolteon next. Since Grass resists electric type, I stay in, and I just Giga Drain all the way until I beat the Jolteon. I get paralyzed a couple times, like 2 times in a row there, but for some reason it just keeps on using agility even though I'm paralyzed and already slower anyway. So I just Giga Drain all my health back. It Signal Beams, doing half damage, but we bring it back in the red again. It does Thunder, which I resist, and we take down the Jolteon. His last Pokemon is a Flareon, so we send out our Aerodactyl, and with a couple Rock Slides, 2 Rock Slides, that thing goes down pretty easily, and we beat Tai once again. We then head to face Sora herself. Later, her name is Sora. She says she leads with an Alakazam. I go with Shadow Ball. A Psychic almost kills me, which is a bit sad. And Shadow Ball is a 2-hit KO, so Frostlass is basically going down. I switch into Frog to take the next attack, but it Thunder Waves for some reason. I don't know why, but it goes for the Thunder Wave. I Dark Pulse Alakazam, and it goes down. Next Pokemon is Gallade, and I switch into my Aerodactyl to Rocky Helmet Brave Bird. That Aerodactyl Gallade down. Gallade goes down. Next Pokemon is in fact Slowking. Slowking comes out. I switch in my Paralyzed Greninja for some Dark type stab damage. Dark Pulse is a 2-hit KO. Leftovers here doesn't matter. I resist the Scald, and I get paralyzed unfortunately, so I can't move. and the Slowking takes me out. I switch in my Jirachi to do Thunderbolt damage, and it's just 2 more hits, but it slacks off and goes back to almost full HP. I Thunderbolt again, it Psychics me, I resist it, Thunderbolt again, leaving it with a slither of health, and basically he full restores, or she full restores. I go for the Thunderbolt again, this time I get the Paralysis, which is pretty neat. Get it down to yellow again. We resist all of the Slowking's attack, so that's probably like a plus point. Almost kill it again, it gets paralyzed, and as predicted, he goes for the full restore. Once again, I Thunderbolt. It's basically a 3-hit KO, so it slacks off again, leaving us just to keep Thunderbolting until we finish off the Slowbro. It starts Calm Minding, which is a bit scary, but it doesn't matter. One more Thunderbolt later, we take down the Slowking. It Calm Minds again, living, but as we say, the Slowking goes down. We switch into our Infernape to deal with the Delphox. I fake it out and then switch it out to Aerodactyl. It goes for the Calm Mind, which is a bit scary, but we go for the Earthquake. I should have gone for Rock Slide, but I went for the Earthquake instead. And it's Shadow Ball, so since we're faster, we move first and take down the Delphox before further damage. Infernape grows to level 79. She has a shiny Gardevoir, so I Earthquake it because it doesn't have the best physical defense. It Moonblasts us and we go down. I send in my Infernape, go for the fake out damage, bring it to red health. It's at red health now. I go for the Flamethrower. I realized I shouldn't have faked out because it basically brings the health to red and the AI chooses the heal, so I shouldn't have faked out, but nonetheless, I just keep on flamethrowing the Gardevoir until it is back to yellow health. It Calm Minds again for some reason, so I think that's his second Calm Mind. Flamethrower again, the third Calm Mind comes. Just about the health goes to yellow, so she doesn't heal, but she Psychics us in retaliation, and Infernape goes down. I send in our Sceptile, and I go for the Leech Seed because I thought she would heal, but she actually doesn't. Leech Seed barely fails to KO. I go for the Toxic to guarantee the KO. It magic bounces onto me, or synchronizes back onto me. I bring out Starfire once again, and Gardevoir this time will go down. Her last Pokemon is also a Jirachi, so it's a Jirachi versus Jirachi battle. I don't really have anything that can hit the Jirachi, so we're stuck with just hitting the thing with Thunderbolts over and over again. We revive Infernape back to health, and we Flamethrower the Jirachi to take it down. The third gym leader is done, and she stamps our Rancor ticket. After defeating the third gym leader, we head out and meet Pierce, who tells us where to go. We head to Mount Frozone to confront Regina, get finessed by Pierce instead as he not only rattles Articuno, but Master Balls and catches Lugia. He then taunts us and taunts Regina to challenge him at the Peaks of Alpha for one final showdown. Before we entertain that, however, we made it to the last isle where we take on the fourth and last gym leader of the Rancor region, and honestly speaking, this was the easiest fight ever. With all 4 Rancor gyms defeated, we then head to the Peaks of Alpha where Regina and Pierce are indulging in intense battle with their Ho-Oh and Lugia. To neutralize the situation, we take on Regina while Henry takes on Pierce. After intense battles, we succeed in defeating them. Regina, however, is still hell-bent on achieving her goals, and she says she has stocked loads of revives. Just then, out of nowhere, the Swords of Justice show up and force all the enslaved legendaries to be set free as a punishment to Pierce and Regina. All the legendaries flee, and the most insane plot twist takes place. Regina, a married woman standing adjacent of her son, confesses love to Pierce, the Pokemon church guy. Pierce reveals he has similar feelings and they both fly off together, presumably to make love. At this rate, you just gotta feel bad for Henry, man. I cannot believe my eyes. With all the chaos out of the way, we finally do the penultimate champion fight of this game, against Soul, the Rancor champion. We head to the league where Soul has requested that we get priority. This is how the fight unfolded. There's his whole stadium waiting for us to battle. Soul comes out. He's also the Sinnoh region champion, while we are the Tunot and Johto region champion. So we could be the first triple champion
in the Pokemon universe. So here comes Soul, here comes his entrance, and he's, as I said, he's the Sinnoh champion. He also came here for enough battling, but now we engage in battle. He leads with a Magmortar and a perfect lead. I lead with Greninja. Instant Surf almost knocks it out. Thunderbolt knocks me out though, so that was pretty unfortunate. We bring out Tyrese and go for the fake out, but it does not KO, puts him in red, which allows Soul to heal Magmortar up to full health. I go for the Drain Punches to take it out. It goes for Psychic and almost takes me out, but its leftovers bring it back to yellow health, so I'm able to bring it down with another Drain Punch. I bring out, or I stay in with my Infernape to take down the Shiny Empoleon. Flash Cannon doesn't do that much. We Drain Punch again, and we take down the Water type with our Fire type, so pretty cool. Next up is Hydreigon, which we bring out our Jirachi to Moonblast, 4 times super effective damage. It is an instant one-hit KO. We stay in for the Gliscor, and we go for another Moonblast. This thing goes for Roost, so back to square one. We go for a Psychic that do have health, but Earthquake us for big damage. So we just about take the Gliscor down with a critical hit Psychic. Up comes Genesect. This guy has a legendary Pokemon, Genesect. We bring out our Aerodactyl for a Brave Bird. This thing goes for the Iron Head and knocks us out in one hit. I switch into my Sceptile and go for the Dragon Pulse. It is resisted though, and Bug Buzz takes down my Sceptile. Bring in Infernape, the one that's been here since the beginning. Go for the fake out first. It has leftovers though, so we go for the Flamethrower next and take it out. Critical hit as well. Out comes the Roserade, and another Flamethrower to the face almost takes it out, but Sludge Bomb takes us out. So we bring out our Ice type Frostlass, go for the Ice Beam, and ensure the victory on the Roserade, defeating Champion Soul. So we are the first Pokemon trainer to become the champion of 3 different regions, and that is spectacular. And for the first time in the 3 leagues that this game has provided us, they actually have a Hall of Fame cutscene this time. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Let's watch the credits, of course. There's a quick note which we will quickly just press forward. And yes, finally, a Hall of Fame for our Pokemon. We have Frog, the Greninja. He's been amazing, level 80. We have Taro, the Aerodactyl. He's been amazing with Rockhead, Brave Bird, Sienna, the Sceptile, Leech Seed, Toxic Strats, Tyrese, the Infernape, been here from the start. Legendary Pokemon, Starfire, the Jirachi's been amazing. And Kellen, the Frostlass, doing bits. And yeah, the Conquerors of Glazed.
And that's it, guys. That's Pokemon Blazed Glazed. If you guys want to check out the full series, it's in my second channel. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please leave a like and subscribe. And with that, I'm gonna let the credits play. So yeah, enjoy.